Signs of bad or failing fuel pump. A fuel pump is a component in a vehicle's fuel system that is responsible for delivering fuel from the gas tank to the engine. It is typically located inside the gas tank and uses an electric motor to pump fuel through the fuel lines and into the engine. The fuel pump is essential for the proper functioning of the vehicle, as it ensures that the engine receives the correct amount of fuel at the right pressure. If the fuel pump fails, the engine may not start or may stall while driving. Signs of a failing fuel pump include difficulty starting the engine, reduced power and acceleration, and engine misfires. Fuel pumps can be either mechanical or electric. Mechanical fuel pumps are driven by a camshaft or crankshaft and use a diaphragm to pump fuel. They are commonly found in older vehicles. Electric fuel pumps, on the other hand, are more commonly used in modern vehicles and are located inside the gas tank. They use an electric motor to pump fuel through the fuel lines. It is important to regularly maintain and replace the fuel pump as needed to ensure the proper functioning of the vehicle's fuel system. A malfunctioning fuel pump can cause damage to other components of the fuel system and lead to costly repairs. Here are the top signs of bad or failing fuel pump. 1. Engine sputtering or stalling. If the fuel pump is failing, it may not be able to provide enough fuel to the engine, causing it to sputter or stall. 2. Difficulty starting. A failing fuel pump may not be able to provide enough fuel to start the engine, causing difficulty starting or a slow crank. 3. Reduced power or acceleration. A failing fuel pump can cause a reduction in power or acceleration due to the engine not receiving enough fuel. 4. Surging or hesitation. A failing fuel pump may cause the engine to surge or hesitate during acceleration due to inconsistent fuel delivery. 5. Loud whining noise. A failing fuel pump may produce a loud whining noise when the engine is running, indicating that it is struggling to provide enough fuel. 6. Low fuel pressure. A failing fuel pump may result in low fuel pressure, which can be measured using a fuel pressure gauge. 7. Check engine light. If the fuel pump is failing, it may trigger the check engine light on the dashboard. 8. Engine misfires. A failing fuel pump can cause the engine to misfire due to inconsistent fuel delivery to the cylinders. 9. Poor fuel economy. A failing fuel pump can cause the engine to consume more fuel than usual, resulting in poor fuel economy. 10. Smell of gasoline. If the fuel pump is leaking or failing, it may result in a strong smell of gasoline around the vehicle. 11. Engine overheating. A failing fuel pump can cause the engine to overheat due to insufficient fuel reaching the engine to keep it cool. 12. Stalling at high speeds. A failing fuel pump may cause the engine to stall at high speeds, which can be dangerous and potentially lead to an accident. 13. Difficulty climbing hills. A failing fuel pump may not be able to provide enough fuel to the engine when climbing hills or driving up steep inclines. 14. Engine dies after starting. If the fuel pump is failing, the engine may start but then quickly die due to insufficient fuel delivery. 15. Fuel pump fuse blows. A failing fuel pump can cause the fuse that powers it to blow, resulting in a loss of power to the fuel pump and engine. What causes the fuel pump to fail? There are several reasons why a fuel pump may fail, including 1. Age and wear. Over time, the internal components of the fuel pump can wear out, leading to decreased performance and eventual failure. 2. Dirty fuel. If the fuel filter is not changed regularly, debris and contaminants can build up in the fuel pump, causing it to fail. 3. Overheating. If the fuel pump is constantly running at high temperatures, it can cause damage to the internal components and lead to failure. 4. Electrical issues. If there is a problem with the electrical system that powers the fuel pump, such as a faulty relay or wiring, it can cause the pump to fail. 5. Running on an empty tank. Running the vehicle on a near-empty tank can cause the fuel pump to overheat and fail. 6. Contaminated fuel. If the fuel that is being pumped contains water or other contaminants, it can damage the fuel pump and cause it to fail. 7. Corrosion. Exposure to moisture and other corrosive elements can cause the fuel pump to corrode and eventually fail. 8. Incorrect installation. If the fuel pump is not installed correctly, it can cause damage to the pump and lead to failure. 9. Fuel pressure issues. If the fuel pressure is too low or too high, it can cause the fuel pump to fail. 10. Manufacturer defects. In some cases, a fuel pump may fail due to a defect in the manufacturing process. What can be done to care for the fuel pump and prolong its life? 1. Regular maintenance. Regularly scheduled maintenance can help prevent fuel pump failure. This includes replacing the fuel filter, checking fuel pressure, and inspecting the fuel lines for leaks or damage. 2. Avoid running on low fuel. Running on low fuel can cause the fuel pump to work harder and potentially overheat, leading to premature failure. 3. Use high-quality fuel. Using high-quality fuel can help prevent contamination and buildup in the fuel system, which can lead to fuel pump failure. 4. Avoid overloading. Overloading the vehicle can cause the fuel pump to work harder and potentially fail. 5. Check for corrosion. Regularly check for signs of corrosion on the fuel pump and surrounding components. If found, take steps to address the issue before it leads to failure. 6. Proper installation. Make sure the fuel pump is installed correctly to avoid damage and premature failure. 7. Address any issues promptly. If you notice any signs of fuel pump failure, such as difficulty starting or a decrease in performance, have it inspected and repaired promptly to prevent further damage. 8. Avoid rough driving. Rough driving, such as speeding over speed bumps or potholes, can cause damage to the fuel pump and other components of the fuel system. 9. Keep the fuel tank clean. A dirty fuel tank can cause contamination and buildup in the fuel system, leading to fuel pump failure. 10. Follow manufacturer recommendations. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for maintenance and replacement of the fuel pump and other components of the fuel system. 11. Use additives. Using fuel additives designed to clean and protect the fuel system can help prevent contamination and buildup, reducing the risk of fuel pump failure. 12. Monitor fuel economy. A sudden decrease in fuel economy can be a sign of fuel pump failure, so monitor your vehicle's fuel economy regularly. 13. Avoid idling for extended periods. Idling for extended periods can cause the fuel pump to overheat, leading to premature failure. 14. Keep the fuel system sealed. Make sure the fuel system is properly sealed to prevent contamination and buildup, which can lead to fuel pump failure. 15. Replace worn components. Replace worn or damaged components of the fuel system, such as hoses or connectors, to prevent leaks and potential damage to the fuel pump. That's all we have for you in today's video. It's very good to have you here on our channel. If you liked the video, please smash the like button and do consider subscribing if you haven't already. We hope to see you soon with another video. Until then, stay safe.